Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So, today we're tackling something I think we all want a little more of in our lives: confidence. We've all probably tried those power poses in the mirror before a big meeting, right? But if you look at the source material we're unpacking today, you'll quickly realize we've actually been going about this completely backward. Get this, did you know that roughly 80% of New Year's resolutions completely fail by the second week of February? It's wild. And it's not a lack of willpower like we usually think, it's actually a lack of self-trust. So, we're going to step away from those vague inspirational quotes today and dig into a deeply practical, evidence-based way to completely rewire how you view yourself. All right, let's dive right into this. Okay, starting with section 1, the confidence illusion. Why do we struggle to believe in ourselves? I really want you to think about this for a second. Why is confidence just so incredibly hard to build? We try the positive affirmations, we try standing like superheroes in front of the mirror, we try the whole fake it till you make it routine. But honestly, so often that inflated sense of self-belief just pops like a balloon the absolute second we face a real challenge. And why is that? Well, because deep down, your brain is just way too smart to be fooled by empty words. It demands hard evidence. When we lack confidence, what we're really lacking is a track record. We don't have the reliable data proving to ourselves that we're capable. We really struggle here because we treat confidence like this magical aura that some lucky people are just born with, rather than treating it like a concrete, measurable thing that you can actually manage and grow. To put it in perspective, just think about our daily hypocrisy when it comes to keeping promises. First, look at the promises we make to other people. If you tell your boss you're going to have that report done by Friday, you do it, right? If your best friend needs you to pick them up from the airport at 5 a.m., you set like 3 alarms, you drag yourself out of bed, and you're there. You're super reliable. But then, look at the promises we make to ourselves. We say we're going to start working out on Monday. We tell ourselves we're definitely going to stop doom scrolling before bed. We promise we'll finally start writing that novel. And what happens? We break those promises. Constantly. Think about it. We literally wouldn't tolerate a friend who flakes on us half as much as we flake on ourselves. And this huge gap between how we treat others and how we treat ourselves, that is the exact birthplace of self-doubt. Which brings us perfectly to section 2, defining self-trust, the real foundation of confidence. So the material defines self-trust as the firm reliance on the integrity of your own promises to yourself. I want you to imagine your confidence as a bank account. It's a metaphor, sure, but it's an incredibly accurate one. Every single time you make a promise to yourself and you actually keep it, you're making a deposit into that self-trust bank account. But every time you hit snooze when you promised you'd wake up early, or every time you skip the gym when you swore you'd go, you make a withdrawal. The whole reason so many of us feel this chronic lack of confidence is quite simply that our self-trust bank accounts are massively overdrawn. We've just written way too many bad checks to our own subconscious. You literally cannot have high confidence if you have low self-trust. They are completely linked together. And what really stood out to me in the source material is this simple truth. Confidence is built through small promises. Listen, you do not rebuild a severely overdrawn bank account by trying to deposit $1 million that you don't even have, right? You rebuild it dollar by dollar, cent by cent. True, unshakable confidence isn't built overnight through one massive, heroic, movie-style montage. It's forged in the super quiet, mundane moments of your average day. It is built through the compounding interest of tiny, almost invisible actions that prove to your subconscious, hey, I'm a person of my word. When you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. That right there, that's where real confidence comes from. All right, let's look at section 3, the small promises hack. This is a super practical mechanism for growth. So what is it? The self-trust hack is a strategy to deliberately make and keep micro commitments to build internal reliability. Now notice the word deliberately, and especially notice the word micro commitments. This is definitely not about setting a goal to run a full marathon by next month when you haven't even jogged in a year. Honestly, doing that is just setting yourself up for another massive withdrawal from your account. Instead, this is about finding the absolutely smallest possible promise you can make to yourself. I'm talking a promise so ridiculously small, it's almost impossible to fail. And then, you execute it flawlessly. By doing this deliberately, you basically hack the system. You bypass your brain's natural resistance to massive change, and you quietly sneak in these positive data points of reliability. Okay, let's break down exactly how you can apply this hack right now, today. It's just a simple 3-step process. Step 1, make a micro promise, and I mean genuinely micro. Something like, I will drink exactly 1 glass of water when I wake up, or I will read exactly 1 page of a book, or even just I'll put my shoes in the closet when I walk in the door. Step 2, execute it. Just do the incredibly small thing you promised yourself you'd do. And now, here is where literally everyone messes up. Step 3, acknowledge the win. You have to physically pause just for a second and tell yourself, I said I was going to do that, and I actually did it. This conscious acknowledgement, that's the actual deposit into your self-trust account. That is the exact moment you wire the new evidence into your brain. Seriously, if you skip step 3, the whole hack kind of falls apart. Let's move to section 4, building your confidence, the compounding effect of keeping your word. Let's look at how doing this consistently snowballs into something massive. Here are the compounding benefits. First, it proves internal reliability. Your brain literally starts to view you as a credible, trustworthy source. Second, it creates this amazing forward momentum. Once you keep a promise to drink a glass of water, suddenly keeping a promise to just walk around the block feels a whole lot easier, you know? Objects in motion stay in motion. Third, it eliminates self-doubt. Because honestly, self-doubt just cannot survive in the face of overwhelming empirical evidence that you are a person of action. And finally, this is what forges genuine confidence. I'm not talking about that loud, boastful, arrogant kind of confidence. I'm talking about that quiet, unshakable confidence that says, whatever happens today, I know I can count on myself to handle it. It really all boils down to this. Confidence isn't innate. It's a muscle. You aren't just born with it, and you don't magically stumble into it on a good day. It is an active, daily practice. Just like going to the gym to build physical strength, you have to consistently lift the tiny weights of small promises to build up your psychological strength. Sure, some days you might only lift a really light weight, but the point is, you still show up. You keep your word to yourself. You build the muscle. You've got to guard your self-trust bank account with your life, because at the end of the day, it is absolutely the most valuable asset you possess. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final, critical thought based on our explainer today. What is one small promise you are going to keep today? Not tomorrow, not next Monday, today. What is one ridiculously small micro commitment you can make right this second, execute, and then acknowledge so you can start making those deposits back into your self-trust account? Don't let this just be some interesting concept you listened to and then forgot about. Actually make it a daily practice. Take back your confidence by taking back your word to yourself. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, everyone. Go make that small promise, and I'll see you next time.